Ali here at mindwavemeditation.com, and today we're going to talk about you. As always, it's all about you, and it's all about you with the intention that it's really all about all of us. It's all about all of us going through life and evolving mentally, physically, spiritually, with the intention of making life as easy and as effortless as for everybody as possible. No? I don't know, it's just a thought, just a wild thought. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know how you're going, what you're doing, what you're thinking, what's going on, and let's connect on this video. It's all about you, it's about your self-talk, starting here and reprogramming the mind to constantly be putting out positive and good intentions out there instead of taking yourself down with negativity and bleak pessimism. So I'll see you on the other side. So this is your self-talk 101 video. It's really simple to master, and it's just a case of management once you've got the basics. And the basics are really as simple as this. Number one, never finish a negative sentence. It doesn't do you any favors. It makes people not want to hang around with you, or it makes people that also talk negatively about themselves want to hang around you, because then they've got common ground. But ultimately, you're reprogramming yourself to get more of what you do not want. And that's not a woo-woo concept, like you're putting it out there, man, and you're just getting back what you put out there. I completely agree with that, by the way, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you are literally reprogramming the subconscious mind. You're coding it. You're saying, I can't do this, I can't afford this, I don't have the capabilities to do this. Telling yourself what you don't want to hear. It's just going in. So if you're thinking it, you're feeling it, right? And if you're feeling it and thinking it, and you're typing it and you're saying it, you're putting it out there. So this little simple one, number one, is to catch what you're saying, to catch everything that you're saying to yourself. And once you grasp this, which really isn't hard to do, it's just a case of management, daily commitment to this. You see how much you've been doing this for years and years and years. You'll see other people in conversations do it. You'll see people on the TV say it, and you spot it like, oh wow, look, they're reprogramming themselves for what they don't want. When we learn how to reprogram ourselves for what we do want, which will be in a little bit, then we start to experience a different life completely. I know this to be true, just like everything I say on these channels is only through my experience. And I'm talking from the heart, my own experience, so therefore it's my fact, it's my truth. And if it works for you, then brilliant. So, number one, observe your mind. From this point on, everything that you're saying in texts, in emails, everything that you're thinking, are you reprogramming yourself for what you do not want? I'm so stressed, I can't afford that. I'm so anxious. I'm so tired. Things just aren't working out. Now, all of those things might be true, okay? So it's not that you are going to start lying to yourself and saying, I am rich, everything is going great, I am brilliant. It's not about that. That is just lying to yourself, and this is what this isn't about. It's where some people go, oh, it's just a load of bollocks, all this stuff, all this woo-woo stuff. That's just people that don't understand how it works. I'm going to explain how this works. It's really simple. If you're saying, I am so anxious, right? You might be anxious in the moment, but we've got to remember that anxiety comes from a future thought. So really, it's your thoughts of the future that are making you anxious. And right now, you might be experiencing anxiety, but it doesn't mean that you are going to continuously experience anxiety. So if you say to yourself, I am ... anxious, you are telling yourself to be anxious. So essentially you're reaffirming that you're anxious, and this is literally what we don't want to do. We want to be able to manage our anxiety, our panic attacks, our money, everything. We don't want to reaffirm what we do not have, because if we go back to the law of attraction videos, we realize that we don't want to reaffirm the vibration of not having, because then we get more of that. So what do we want to do? Let's keep going. So number 2 is what do we do? If we're not going to reaffirm all this stuff, do we just keep it in our minds? No. What we do is we hear it, we catch it, and we rephrase it. And we don't lie to ourselves, like I was saying before, I'm fine, everything is fine. We don't do that. I've done that too. It doesn't work, and people can see right through it. What we do want to do is we want to realize that right now, in this moment, it's a blank canvas. This moment is a blank canvas. And yes, your particular situation might mean that you will experience much more of what you've been experiencing because of, every experience is different. It's difficult to pull it apart in a video like this. But if we rewire up here and we start making different actions, then maybe the future will change because of our fresh, new, positive habits. So what I mean by that is, when we have, let's use anxiety again for an example. If I'm experiencing anxiety, instead of going, oh my God, I am anxious, I'm feeling anxious, what we can do is we can realize we're feeling anxious, we're feeling panicky, we're feeling anxiety, and we can decide to tell ourselves, in the past, I have been anxious, but right now, I'm choosing to breathe and overcome. Or whatever rings true to you. The point of this is that by repeating I am anxious, you are most likely to keep feeling anxious. So by saying I am choosing to breathe, I am choosing to remember that anxiety belongs to the future, whatever, you're not lying to yourself, you're changing the story, you're rewriting the code for the future. So if you go through an anxiety, bad trip, and you remember that anxiety is part of the future, then return to the now, return to the breath, breathe in, do the box breath. In for 4, hold for 4. Exhale for 4, hold for 4. Do whatever works for you. Watch the anxiety videos down below and start to reaffirm and reprogram a different scenario. So this works in all areas of your life. If you are depressed and you say, oh, it's just the way I am, I've always been depressed, it's just how I am, this is blah, 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 blah. You are repeating what you don't want. Unless it is, of course, you do want to be depressed, I don't know. Maybe some people do because it's a comforting thing of being too optimistic has landed you in some sticky situations in the past. I don't know, maybe you don't trust love or happiness. And I understand that. I've had that conversation with people. But ultimately, we don't have to be like, yeah, everything's amazing, oh my God, life's so good, like the air and the nature and all of the good food, and we don't have to be like that. All I'm saying here is bleak pessimism, depression, anxiety, panic, struggling, all of these things that are very real and very natural, and we all experience them to a certain degree. There are tools and there are ways to manage and pull yourself out of these lower realms of living. Now, for some that's medication, for some that's holistic health, there's lots of options. All I'm talking about is this middle path. Now it's the middle of the extremes. We don't have to be, we don't have to be, oh my God, the world is ending, I hate myself and everything's hellish. Join me in the middle. Join me in the middle by reprogramming yourself wherever possible to get through the day and stop creating more and more negative habits and patterns of thought. So we know that the mind is like a monkey mind. It's like a monkey swinging from branch to branch to branch. Not all of our thoughts are our own. We've got the media, we've got the mainstream narrative, we've got our opinions of family and friends, we've got this collective voice of what should be and what shouldn't be before we've even tapped into what we think about things. So there's a lot going on. So these tools are really, really helpful. So number one being awareness. Watch what is happening in your mind. Watch what you're saying. Watch what you are thinking, and really hone in on that. Is that a negative statement? Never finish a negative statement. Number two is what we do about it. We catch it, we rewire it, not to a lie, but to a more positive present future tense, positive. So we catch it and we say, in the past, or I used to think this and now I'm doing X, Y, and Z. This is huge retraining. This is really incredible self-work to do, and it is work. You can't just do it once or twice and go, this is a daily thing, and it's really enjoyable to catch all of these thoughts. And even when you mess up, if I mess up in a video, say mess up, if I drop my guard and I'll admit it. I've done it loads of times in these videos, like in the past, and that's why it helps me grow. And I encourage you to point out any of these things that I'm saying so I can continue to grow as well, because we're all doing this together. This is a discussion at the end of the day, even though I'm just talking to myself on a camera right now. Number three is ultimately the bigger picture. We never want to end a negative statement because we're reprogramming ourselves constantly for what we don't want. So the way I like to look at it is, talk to yourself like you would talk to a child, a niece or a nephew, or just, a kid in general. Hopefully you'd be nice, you'd be kind, you'd be encouraging, you would nurture, you'd inspire. We never go, oh, you fucking idiot, or what are you doing that for? What's wrong with you? All of this stuff, which I know we all do, and I hope you're not doing it so much, but I did it for years and years and years, called myself a fucking idiot, and it was a reoccurring thing. So one day when I learned this technique, I realized that for years I'd been calling myself a fucking idiot. And, I'm not a fucking idiot. At one point in time, it was debatable. I'll hold my hands up. It was debatable. But I was struggling. I was going through life. I was learning. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have all the capabilities like a normal person. I was dyslexic. I was dyspraxic. I had learning difficulties. I couldn't really read or write. Went down a year at school. I wasn't very clever. I felt stupid because of it. So then I acted stupid because it was like a defense mechanism to try and still at least be cool around friends. I was kind of funny as well, so that worked out. But I played the clown, and I definitely played on that, like, ooh, ooh. That was kind of my character for many, many years, until I realized that was a lie. I was an intelligent being with love to give, and this whole detrimental self-deprecation thing that was going on was not helping me thrive. It was destroying me. It was helping me decay mentally and spiritually. And even if you're not into the spiritual stuff, just generally, it's to talk to yourself like that, like, oh, you idiot, or like, oh, what you fucking, all this sort of stuff. This has got to go. This has got to stop, because you will never get to where you want to be if you keep talking to yourself in a negative fashion like that. And not only does that bring down, lower your vibration, make you sort of spiral into the spiral of doom, feel crap about yourself, which leads to the bad food and the over drinking, smoking, eating whatever your jam is. It leads there, and then it's hard to get out, and then we have to try the whole cycle again. It's exhausting. It's so exhausting just to be exhausting. So we've got to start up here. Catch all thoughts. Have like a net that before anything leaves your mouth or leaves your fingers, it's like you need a filtration system. Like, give yourself like a mental secretary. Give yourself a little mental secretary, a little job to do, to go, oh, you said another one, you called yourself a little shitbag. Whatever, I don't know why I'm being so sweary on this one. But really employ that in your day, a mental secretary to filter all of the negative thoughts. Okay, so just let's run through a couple. Money's a big one. I can't afford that. I said that forever. I said that for years and years and years. I can't afford that. And I'd stop looking at stuff. I'd even stop looking at shop windows. In fact, for most of my 20s, I wouldn't even look at things because I couldn't afford it, and the pain of not being able to buy things was, I'd rather, the taste of honey is worse than none at all, as they say. I'd rather just not look because it was more painful. And on reflection now, I couldn't afford it at the time, but what I was reprogramming myself is to never be able to afford it. So I started studying money, and I started thinking about the bigger picture and creating a business to support me, and like creating boundaries and stopping the things that were not helping me make money, and stop spending money on crap that I didn't need and stuff that was destroying me, and started saving to put it into stuff that was going to help. And slowly that conversation changed, and it's incredible. I will never say I can't afford that anymore, and if I do, I'll go, ooh, in the past I thought I couldn't afford it, but now I'm choosing to spend my money on other things. And even if, like, I can't afford that £1 million mansion because I'm choosing to spend my money on other things. Although, we can joke about it, it's still a positive over a negative. I can't afford that. I'll never be able to afford that. Yeah, maybe you won't. But by choosing to spend your money on other things, meaning maybe that's not for you, maybe you don't even want that, but you're choosing to spend your money in other areas, is a better thing to say than I just can't. It'll never happen. So another one that comes up with students is a lot of people looking for love, trying to find their soulmate, their partner. And I've heard some terrible things over the years. Who's gonna love me? Why would anyone love me? Why would anyone love me? Who's gonna love me? Putting that out there, I like to say that the universe always says yes. Always. It's just the tone changes. So if someone says, no one's ever gonna love me, the universe might say, yes. Who could ever love me? Yes. Who could ever love you? Because you're in that vibration. Who wants to love someone in that vibration going, who could love me? I don't blame them. You've got to raise your vibration to be someone. You need to love yourself. You need to start by loving yourself. If you want someone to love you, you need to love you. Does that make sense? Sounded like it did. If you want someone to love you, then you need to love you. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, you've got to start with you, because how can you expect anyone to devote their time and life and give their love if you don't love yourself? It doesn't work. It's the same with money. If you want money, you've got to love money. You can't be thinking money is evil and only rich people have it and they spend it on all sorts of bad stuff and all the rest of it and destroy the earth. You've got to love it and respect it and honor it and want to use it. It's just energy. You've got to raise your vibration to be in the spirit of someone that can handle a lot of money, handle love, handle a relationship. A relationship is a commitment. So start right now by thinking about what it is that you want and what are you saying to yourself. So another one is skills and knowledge, and I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, and I'm dyslexic, and I'm this and I'm that. And look, I was dyslexic. I may still be dyslexic, but I choose to say I was because I don't let it hold me back. Because I was lucky enough to have lessons, and I worked on my vocabulary, and I can read and write now. And it's across the board. Whatever you've got or whatever you've had, stop saying it to yourself. Stop using it as a barrier. The internet will help you with pretty much everything. You've got the internet. It's you and the work. It's the time. That's the only thing getting in the way. Stop doing the things that are keeping you, monging you out or sending you off in another direction. Start learning and start studying and start healing. So I don't have the skills. Learn them. Start learning the skills. Start small. Read one book. If you don't ever read 3 books a year. If, like me, I found in the past very difficult to read books as I'd just start nodding off. Audiobooks. I listen to at least 1, possibly 2 audiobooks a month. Just feeding all that stuff in there constantly. I didn't read for years because I couldn't, and I got confused, I didn't understand it, I'd skip pages, I'd get lost, I'd fall asleep. Audiobooks, there's always a solution, so whatever your problem is, go find the solution. There's people to help, there's always people to help. If that person doesn't help, move on, find the next person that's going to help you. There are people that are going to help you in any area of your life, but you have got to start with you. Alright, so here's your challenge for the day. I would love for you to practice this and go and just dive all the way into self-talk. So I really want you to take one day of your week. It doesn't have to be today, just pick one day in the week where you're going to practice this. And all I want you to do is do this 1, 2, 3. Number 1, observe everything you're saying and see where you're going wrong, and when you're kind of giving yourself these little punches, and when you're saying these things over, and I can't do this, and oh, it's all right for some. All of that negativity, anything that's negative, anything that's self-deprecating, that's your ticket, that's your guide. Number 2 is to catch these thoughts and rewire them to the positive. So a really great way is to say, in the past, I have thought this, or I have said this, but now I'm choosing to, and then X, Y, and Z. Try and figure out a great ending, a positive ending. Number 3 is to stop talking to yourself negatively, just in general. Start talking to yourself really positively. I had someone very close to me said, "You think so highly of yourself, don't you? You just think you're blah." And I stopped him and said, "Yeah, I do. And I think you should also do that too. Because if you did, we wouldn't be having this conversation." I'm not going around going like, "Look at me, I'm amazing," because I'm absolutely not. We're all flawed, we've all got problems, we all rub people the wrong way. But one thing I'll stand by is that I absolutely love myself, because for years and years and years and years and years I did not love myself, and I struggled for years and years and years and years. Now I've found that by loving myself as a number 1 priority means that health, wealth and success and everything that I want to do and pursue, it just gets better and is easier, and life is better and more enjoyable, and hopefully I get to inspire people to do the same. So that's your challenge. Do this one day for the week. Let me know in the comments down below how it went, anything you learned, if any problems, any obstacles. Let's chat. Let's start changing the mind and start reprogramming ourselves for what we do want: health, wealth, love and success, and anything else. So if you want to work with me one-to-one, click the link below. There's some information there. We'll talk about whatever it is you need to talk about, and we'll get from A to B. Or check out my Dare to Discover mini course. It's amazing. It'll help you figure out your dreams, your goals, desires, and help you organize it so you can actually just start doing it and enjoying it. Also, I've got free audio called Focus down there, which is really good. Free audio, just chuck in your deets and I'll send you it. It's really good for studying and calming the brain, but still keeping alert and awake. So some free stuff there, and keep watching the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really, really helps. Love you loads. I hope you're going well. Let me know how you're doing. Speak to you soon.